Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Thank you for coming. So for our initial meeting, I'm just going to ask you some questions to get a better idea of you and your thoughts and feelings and why you're here today.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's okay with me.
Okay. So everything we discuss, obviously, is confidential. The only time it wouldn't be confidential is if I feel like you're going to harm yourself or you're going to harm others.
Okay.
I'm also going to be taking notes. You can look at the notes at any point in time. It's just so I can keep an idea of what we're talking about. So if you want to look at them, you can just ask me. That's fine. So to start, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. Are you married?
I'm single.
Are you?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you have any children?
I have one child.
Yeah. How old is your kid?
3.
3. Okay, that's cute.
Mhm.
And are you employed at the moment?
Not at the moment.
No?
No.
And what have you done in the past for work?
Just like the occasional serving job here and there. Any odd job, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your education level?
Just high school.
Just high school?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you wanted to pursue maybe in the future?
Eventually, one
Yeah.
day. I just don't have the funds to go and further my education.
Yeah, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now, what brings you in to see me today?
I'm just having troubles with my thoughts and my alcohol problem.
Okay. So why did you come today? Was there something that pushed you in to come today?
Just everything, like my childhood trauma,
Yeah.
that affecting me, and then my alcoholism affecting me.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
building up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can understand. It's tough. So just to get a little bit further details, so when you talk about using alcohol, so when you're using, can you describe what thoughts or feelings that you might be having at the time when you decide to
Usually
use?
when I use my alcohol, I am very sad and down and just in a very dark place, it feels like.
Yeah,
Yeah, almost like numb.
you feel numb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So beyond that, when you are using, is there anything that you find that you avoid doing that you maybe used to do before you used?
Going to work and like taking care of my child. Yeah.
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 And if you were to rate, okay, so due to your use and maybe the thoughts and feelings like that you're feeling down or
Mhm.
negative about yourself when you use especially, if you were to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 would be being the very best and 10 being the very worst, how would you rate your functioning currently with your substance use and maybe the way that you're feeling right now?
Right now or when I'm using?
Right now, like you're functioning and
Like a 5 in the middle, I'd
In the
say.
middle?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm not using like right now. I go through like these binge drinking episodes.
Right.
So right now I'm not using,
okay.
so I can collect my thoughts and I'm able to come here and talk to you. So I would say about a 5.
So when you
In the
are
middle.
using, what would you rate yourself?
Probably
as?
like a 9 or a 10, like
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how often do you think you binge? Like once a week, once a month?
It just depends. Like lately, it's been once every like 2 weeks. I kind of fall into that dark place,
Right.
and I go to use, and then it usually lasts about like a week. So
Do you notice during those times, like is there something that maybe provokes that? Is there like a time of year or situations maybe that
it's
you're
usually when my mom tries to contact me.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have a very good relationship with your mom?
No.
Okay. So you'd find that's what,
Yeah, and she
that-
tries to do it pretty often.
and it makes you feel
Yeah.
bad and okay,
Yeah,
that's terrible.
yeah.
So now going back to just where we were before, we'll get back to everything that you were talking about too. What aspects of your life do you feel like are the most affected? So let's like kind of do it comparably.
Okay.
What do you think is the most affected by your use, and what is the least affected by your use?
I would say the most affected is my child. I think they feel pretty impacted from it. And then the least, I'm not sure. Maybe just like the upkeep around my house and myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still manage to take care of yourself? Okay.
Yeah, it's taking care of my child that is
That is the
affected.
most problem.
Yeah.
Okay. When you use, what emotional or physical reactions do you experience? Like you said already, that you go to a dark place. So emotionally, you're feeling down and bad about yourself. Is there anything else that you feel would be an emotional reaction?
I find it's hard to get out of bed. I'm angry a lot when I do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like just anger, feeling sad. It's difficult to get out of bed. It's
Right.
difficult to function.
So that it would be kind of a physical
Yeah.
reaction. Also, is there anything else you can think physically that maybe you experienced?
Well, when I don't drink, I feel sick, and it usually takes me a few days to recover from that.
Right.
And then I'm still feeling down when I'm recovering from my binge.
Yeah.
So that takes a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any other factors, like you already mentioned, okay, so like people or your environment that affect your reactions? You already said your mom. Is there anything else maybe that you've noticed that affects the reactions that you may have?
No, not usually. Like, it's just mainly my mom that really affects me to go into that.
Okay. Now, I want to just talk about you and yourself. So, how would you describe yourself to others? Like maybe someone to me, because we've just met now for the first time. How would you describe yourself to me?
I would say I'm pretty hardworking when I'm not in the binge drinking stage. I'm kind. I really do care for others. Yeah, I just want to have a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a good person.
I would say so.
Yeah, in general. And
Yeah.
just
I try to be anyways.
how you led to substance abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really affecting my life.
Yeah, but you are good, and you can see yourself that you are a good person, kind. And
Yeah, I've
you
never
work hard.
done anything that's been bad to the law. I've never broke the law. I'm usually a good person. Yeah, aside from this problem that I've been
That
having.
you're going through
yeah.
now. So now on the other view, if you were to have others describe you, how do you think that they would describe, like friends or like close people to you, how do you think they would describe you?
I think my mom would describe me as lazy, probably the opposite, not nice, not a good person.
But what about somebody that's maybe close to you, like a friend of yours?
I would say they would probably think the same, and they would probably just think that I'm going through a hard time right now.
Right.
Because when I go through these episodes, I don't really talk to anybody, and I kind of push them away because I am feeling so down.
Right.
And I find a lot of people just don't really see how I'm actually feeling during these times.
Right.
Because I don't talk to anybody. But they do
So you
know that
keep
I'm
your
going
emotions
through it.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you do see that people would see you're a kind person
I
and
think
all
so.
that too.
Yeah.
So there is, so you've got some kindness and goodness, and you seem like a really good person.
Yeah.
Now, we've already talked about your mom. Now, does she abuse substances as well? Like, is there any other family member that you can think of that maybe there's a history in your family of substances?
Yeah, so my dad, he abuses substances, and so does my mom. My mom abuses alcohol, and my dad abuses drugs, but I don't really talk to my dad. I don't know him.
So he's not in the picture
Yeah,
either.
no, and that's been like that for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess your support system isn't within your family then, but and you obviously have stated that you don't have a good relationship with your family, but outside of them, do you have a support system? Like, do you have some good friends that you can talk to or that are there, you know?
So my child's father, he's a good support system. Although we're not together right now because of what I'm going through, he's always been there to help me.
That's good.
Yeah, and then I have one close friend as well. The
That's
one that I mentioned who would describe me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now just getting back to your substance use, when you're using, what do you think the purpose of your using behavior, like what do you think the purpose that behavior has for you? Like what does it serve to do that behavior?
Just to make me feel better, I guess. Like, when I feel down and when I do drink, it makes me feel less down.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a way of coping
like
with your emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. To kind of forget about what I'm feeling.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you find, so obviously, yeah, you find that using helps you cope with hard situations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so have you ever had treatment in the past or a period of time that you didn't use?
I've had one treatment in the past, and I was prescribed this drug to help me kind of have alcohol aversion, but it didn't really work.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really help. And my feelings and like.
And the times that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the times that you aren't using, was there something in that environment that made you go for longer periods of time without using?
Just like not having contact with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's a major trigger.
She is, yes.
So if you weren't using, what would you see that you would be doing differently in your life?
I'd have a good job, I'd be able to care for my child properly, and I would probably be pursuing further education.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. And is that a goal? Like, if you, in this treatment, like, what are you looking for change? What are your goals that you're wanting to maybe get from having this treatment?
Just to kind of feel better about myself and not have those dark thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
Yeah, that lead me to go into my alcohol binge and to be able to cope better with those thoughts and my mom being a trigger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that you'd like me to know about you?
Just that I would like to be an ultrasound technician one day. That's like one of my goals to go back to school for. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a great goal.
Thank you.
So there is goodness in there too that you can see.
Yeah.
So, okay. What else then on top of it? What else would there be that you would like to change about, let me word this right. What are a few things that you would like to change about your use?
Probably the end goal would be to cut it out completely, but to, not go as crazy with the amount that I drink during my binge. Because I find that really does affect, like how I react to situations and people and my thoughts and feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I can totally understand that. Okay, so what we did before, like comparing, like the negative and positive too. So what we're gonna do, we'll keep seeing each other, and using the type of therapy. So basically the type of therapy that I do is cognitive behavioral therapy. So basically it's a way to change, looking at the way you think about things and the way that how your thoughts and feelings can affect the behaviors that you do. So kind of like talking about your substance use, like the negative thoughts and that will lead to, it could lead to use, which is the behavior, essentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we're going to try and do is like help you with your thoughts and that. So this week, what I would like you to do is kind of a self-monitoring. It's kind of like journaling in a way.
Okay.
You know what I mean by journaling.
Yeah.
About kind of your thoughts and feelings and maybe the triggers, because there might be more than just your mom that we're missing that maybe we'll touch upon in other
Sure.
subsequent visits.
Sure.
So what we kind of use is chart form. So it's a thought, feeling, behavior log.
Okay.
So see, it's kind of set up here like this.
Yeah.
So the categories of behavior, thoughts, feelings, and what you would like to change.
Okay.
Or what you would change.
Yeah.
So your behavior, saying maybe drinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the thought behind your drinking,
Mhm.
like what basically
Mhm.
like happened, and then the feelings you get from it.
Yeah.
And then what you would change after you've done that. But you can, I mean, this is useful for any behaviors or thoughts or feelings that you feel like are necessary to chart.
Okay.
Might help you just to sort things out. And then once next week when you come back, we'll go over it, and it's a good way to monitor your feelings and thoughts and throughout the week while we don't see each other.
Sure. Okay.
And then we'll get back together next week and
Okay.
we'll go further with your goals.
And we'll kind of go through the
absolutely
categories that I've written. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then move further towards your end goals and
Sure.
have success in treatment.
Great. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you
Maya.
for having me.
You're welcome. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Okay.